would think so.
Yeah.
Welcome to ADSN Post Game Recap of the Hornets' victory over the Cavaliers on Wednesday here at the Spectrum Center. Michael Freer along with Ryan Hedrick. And Ryan, it was turned out to be a double-digit victory for the Hornets, but it certainly didn't feel like that for most of the game.
All right, breaking news. I was within 3 points of my prediction pregame. Let's get that out of the way. I find it hard to be impressed by this victory. Kemba Walker got off to a really slow start. They didn't play good transition defense like I called for in the keys to the game before the game. And at the end of the day, they let the Cavs hang around way too long. I promise you, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not that good.
Cavs playing for the second game in as many nights there. You expected them to be maybe come out and I'd say mail it in, but not be nearly as aggressive as they were. But they came out and they had a 13-point lead in the first half. They led by 11 after one. But the third quarter, the Hornets they doubled up their point total from the half. They scored 41, outscored them 41-29 in the third quarter. And that really turned out to be the difference.
Yeah, we were talking upstairs during the game. I think it was the third or fourth quarter when you made the good point that Kemba Walker has to work that much harder when he's off to a slow start. Hence, you have 7 points in one quarter, 26, when we blink. And it's like how much energy you were expending against a team like this. I don't know. Something's not right with Kemba. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not an expert. I'm not saying he's hurt. I'm just saying his natural fluidity is gone.
Well, he clearly looks like he's in some sort of shooting slump, and it happens. It's just when it's Kemba, it's really magnified, especially in this town.
Right, 60, 43, 30. I mean, at one point he didn't have a 30-point game for like 2 weeks. So I wonder if the early season success that he experienced took its toll. Who knows? But he just doesn't look like the same Kemba. He really doesn't.
And after the game, we heard from Coach Borrego.
Tonight, anyway, I shortened the rotation. Just went with less bodies, shorter rotation.
Why?
I just think that's what we needed tonight. I just think we needed less different lineups on the floor, more consistency in our lineups, and I went with it. Whether we do that moving forward, we'll see. But I felt good about the rotations tonight, and that group produced. We asked for defense, and I think overall we had a pretty good defensive effort tonight. I like the combination out there. That was, we had a second unit out there with MKG, Miles, Marvin out there. I think Nick was out there. We have some length, some athleticism. We got to get back to defending.
Defensively, it was good. Yeah, it was a great effort, and it looked more like the first time we played them. Because the second time we played them, they kick our butt, so it was a lot better.
For the most part, this season, our offense has been generating a good number of points for us. And I think at times we rely on that too much, that we score and we're just okay with giving up a 30-point quarter like it's nothing. And that's not acceptable. I don't want 30-point quarters. And these last couple games have produced too many 30-point quarters. So tonight we were more in the 25, 21, 29, 24. That's the range we got to be in. These guys know it. They'll be held accountable for that.
It's the goal to try to keep teams under 27. When we do that, we give ourselves a good opportunity, to win games and be there at the end. So right now, let's like I said, let's build on that and get some confidence, and hopefully, Friday we can keep playing well.
So the theme between Coach Borrego and the players seems to be how many points they score in a quarter. They want to get into a certain range between 25 and 30 maybe, and they really didn't achieve that, obviously, in the first half, but they really opened it up in the second half.
Coach Borrego's all about defense, and he said very candidly in the postgame, if you don't play defense, you don't play. Hence the older lineup tonight. And, the Hornets need to really get things together because Parker was right. He said in the locker room after the game, they're the 6th seed right now. The 6th seed entails the 3 seed. You get the 3 seed. I don't know who that would be. It wouldn't be Milwaukee or Toronto. Maybe Boston. However, you're not going to beat Boston, Milwaukee, or Toronto giving up, 120, 130 points. You're playing right into their hands. So, this whole thing is a process. I know fans don't want to hear that, but it is. And it's not going to be instantaneous.
Well, at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. And at the end of the day, this is still an improved team over last year.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. If they get 34 wins, suddenly you're not saying that. Yeah,
to this point, it looks they're 500 again for the billionth time this season, by the way. But we talked about it on Talking About Sports a few weeks ago. it has a different feel than last year. You're absolutely right. They could bottom out. A loss like tonight, if they had lost tonight, could have absolutely bottomed out for the season. It just has a different feel right now over last season.
Well, your coach is not in the hospital like he was last season. You don't have Silas patrolling the sidelines. You have Borrego. He's focused. A lot of the distractions, and I'm going to call Dwight Howard what he was. He was a distraction. He made a lot of money, and you were like, when's the back going to go out? He's gone. You know, you bring in Parker. He neutralizes the youth. And you bring in a guy like Kemba Walker, and they balance each other out. So imperative that they stay healthy. They have to win the games that they have to win. Like tonight was a must-win. I don't care if it's December 18th or 19th or whatever date it is. It's a must-win tonight against an 8-21 team. So you get that win. You need maybe get the Detroit win. That's one of the upper echelon teams in the East.
Detroit coming up on Friday here at the Spectrum Center, wrapping up a homestand that really started out poorly with losses to the Knicks and the Lakers, and it bounced back tonight with the win over the Cavaliers. But, yeah, another important game for them. They already beaten the Pistons, and then they go on the road. Then they get Boston and Brooklyn for 2.
Yeah, we're crafty reporters. We can say every game is important and has its own unique value. However, I have to tell you this. These games, Mike, you have to get the victories. The All-Star break's coming up. That's the line of demarcation between teams that are going to compete and not compete. The Hornets need to fall in the former, not the latter.
So, once again, a nice win by the Hornets, finally, after sleepwalking through about a quarter and a half. But they get the victory. They get back to 500 for the 14th time this season.
Wow.
They're a 500 team at 15
That's the
and
stat
15.
of the night, Mike. That's the stat of the night.
I could rattle it off. 1-1, 2-2. They've been 500 at every level except 11 and 12. They were in 12 and 12. So once again, for Michael Freer and Ryan Hedrick, this is ADSN post game coverage. We'll see you coming up on Friday against the Pistons.